going on YouTube? The Apophis here, and welcome back to my channel. This is your second video today. That's right, number 2 on Monday. Why did I decide to do this one as the second one? Well, mostly because a lot of you guys are here for Call of Duty or shooter style games, and I understand that you might not want to watch Warhammer, or War Thunder, my fault. But what I wanted to do was upload War Thunder for those of you that are interested in it, and today I'm going to talk about strategies if you're using a bomber in War Thunder. Now, the gameplay itself is a little slow, kind of boring, so I did speed it up, but it's a good gameplay for playing with a bomber. You have to understand, if you're going to use a bomber, things are going to be a little slower. So let's talk some strategies that actually worked for me in this game. I had the most number of ground kills, which was the objective in Ground Strike, I want to say that's what it's called. The objective is to destroy enemy ground units. I also had 3 air kills, but it's mostly my gunner here in the back just fucking shit up for me. I only took out like 2 myself, and the third one he got on his own. If you're gonna run a bomber, don't think that there's not 2 of us in this plane. It's just me. I just have like an AI guy back here shooting my machine gun. So, bomber, number 1, altitude. You want altitude. You want to fly high. Flying high is going to keep you away from the bullshit going on with all the fighters. All the fighters, they tend to fight real low. Everybody tries to fly, you know, between 80 and 300 feet to do all their dogfighting. That's for some reason that's their thing. Everybody dogfights at a super low altitude. So if you're going to fly a bomber, you're going to want to take her high. Take her real high. You can drop bombs from any altitude. So switching to gunner view, this is the bomber's view itself, is a great tactic. The only thing I don't like about it is the reticle doesn't change color. If you bomb from the exterior view like this, and if I pitch down and look at the ground just right, I have like a bomb target or a bomb reticle. And if you bomb from the exterior view like this, you get that reticle to turn red when you're over the target. So that's the difference between being exterior and in the bomber view. So tip number 1, altitude. Tip number 2, choose the view that you think you can be most effective with. I don't know how I didn't clip those trees. Personally, for me, I like to bomb from the exterior because the reticle turns red. However, you get a way better line of sight and way better vision out of the bomber's bomb view. So consider that when you go to bomb. Another thing, land your planes. We're going to talk about this right now. Land your planes. If you are injured, land. Because the way this game works, you have as many lives as you have planes. Me, I only have 1 bomber. And this was Ground Strike, so my bomber was very important to me. I ended up landing my plane 3 times. If you land your plane, not only do you get resupplied, but you get refueled and repaired. Okay, so think about that. I took damage, that's why I landed. I actually had a fuel leak, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go land, I'm gonna get my repair on, and shabam. If you land in the game to repair, it doesn't cost you anything. If you go back to the hangar after the game and your plane is fucked up, you pay for the repair with experience. So make sure you're repairing in the game as much as you can. Here I decided to switch my strategy up, and I go, oh, I'm gonna fly low and try to get some shit, because it's taking a while for my bombs to go in, and I catch hell for it. I start getting screwed up by all of this flak, so I stick to my original strategy of altitude. Here I am trying to climb and get out of the flak, but it's way too much. The other thing with landing, we're gonna back up here. The other thing with landing, after you expend all your bombs, like I have like a 1.5 minute wait time to reload all 4 of my bombs in this plane. If I was to land, that wait time gets cut down to 30 seconds because that's all it takes me to resupply while I'm landed at an airstrip. So keep that in mind if you're gonna run the bomber. The other thing is, you're not going to be able to dogfight with these guys. These little guys, they're going to out dogfight you. Here I am injured again, and what I'm trying to do is get some distance from this runway to land because I'm coming in way hot. Here I am landing again. It's perfectly okay to land. Encouraged, as a matter of fact. You want to stay in the fight with as many planes as you can. You'll see that the enemy team, although we were going to beat them because I was destroying all the ground units, we were going to beat them either way, but they ran out of aircraft. If they run out of aircraft, you get the win. So you want to conserve your aircraft. Land as many times as you need to. And while we're on landing briefly again, it seems like we've been on landing for a minute. If you don't have a runway, you can land on your carriers. It's a whole lot harder, but you can do it, so keep that in mind. That's how you land if you don't have a landing strip. When getting engagements with fighters, sometimes the fighters are going to get an angle on you and they're going to come after you. You have to keep in mind, you have way more armor, I guess, than they do. You can take a beating compared to what they can take. On top of that, you're faster. You're typically faster than them. So instead of trying to stick it out, point your ass to them so that you protect your engines. That also allows your tail gunner to start getting shots on them and just gun it with the afterburners and get out of there. You're going to gain ground on them, and you're going to eventually end up outside of their effective range for their weapon system. So that's going to keep you alive. It's also going to limit the damage you take. However, if you are damaged, you already know what to do. So here I am. I'm trying to get altitude again because I went in low last time and it didn't work out for me. So I'm going to go in high. I don't know if ships count as ground units in this game type. I wasn't even fucking with the ships. I don't like to take bombers over to ships because there's dive bombers for that. The dive bombers and the torpedo bombers are better for taking out ships. The bomber I'm in is more designed to take out ground targets, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I think that there's me and one other person. We're the only two running bombers, and it's like everybody else is running fighters, and we were losing this game for a very long time. And you keep in mind the game type you're playing. Yeah, it's a little slower, it's a little more boring to run a bomber, but if you want to get the win, you need to play for the game type. Now, if all 16 of us would have been rolling bombers, it would have been a bad time for us. We'd have been destroyed. You need about half of your team to 3/4 of your team to always be fighters. Let your bombers be the minimal side. All right, because the fighters, believe it or not, they're taking all of the attention off of the bombers. It seems like people ignore the shit out of bombers in this game, and that just doesn't make any goddamn sense to me, especially in a ground strike game. You want to take out the bombers. So we're going to go and we're going to switch. If I'm not out in a bomber and I'm playing ground strike, how can I help my team? Well, if you're flying a fighter in a ground strike game, instead of flying low and dogfighting all the fighters that don't matter, take your plane up, get some altitude, and go take out these bombers. They're the only ones that are really going to damage your ground units. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm in a fighter, I can strafe anti-air guns and kill them with my machine gun and stuff like that, but it's dangerous. It's way more dangerous than flying 1,300 feet in the air and dropping bombs. Way more dangerous. So if I'm a fighter and I'm playing ground strike, I like to go after the bombers, and this is more of a defensive role. It's offensive for me because I'm proactively seeking out aircraft to kill, but it's defensive in the overall scheme of things because I am defending our ground units by taking out the most likely candidate to kill them. I hope that makes sense. That's a little bit of strategy that I use when I sit here and I play War Thunder. This game is fucking amazing. Once I got done with this, I looked at how many people are actually online, and there's like 30,000 people playing this right now. And you might go, oh, well, there's 500,000 playing COD. Yeah, sure, there is. But there's also way more console players than there are PC players. So it makes sense. Okay, see here, again, landing, engine, damaged engine, landing. I didn't lose a single aircraft, which means I paid no repair costs at the end, plus I got an XP bonus for not losing aircraft. So land if you're hurt, damn it. Land your planes. Anyway, so yeah, there's an ass ton of people playing COD online, but there's only like 50,000 people playing Halo. There's only like 50,000 people playing Battlefield, and there's 30,000 people playing War Thunder. The amount of people playing this game alone speaks volumes on how fun this is. If you haven't played it, just give an hour, 2 hours maybe of your time and go try it. I'm dead serious, and I'm not paid by the people from War Thunder. Fuck, why would they pay me? I'm not even big. I'm not endorsed to say any of this, but this is a game that has definitely captivated me, taken my attention, and been a stress-free, fun environment. Now, that being said, it's not always stress-free. Sometimes you get in lobbies and people are just complete noobs. If your teammates ram you, you fucking die. Point blank. Your wings will rip off, all this other shit. So you actually have to watch out for your teammates. I can't count the times I've been shot down by my teammates because I'm in the middle of a dogfight, and they fly up behind me and try to shoot the enemy that's in front of me, and they take me out instead. There's some dumb shit that does happen, but I think more people are getting the hang of it, and more people are starting to understand that friendly fire makes a difference, and that collisions make a difference. And that's just coming as the game gains popularity. The other cool thing is, if you're doubting this game, stutter, 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 if you're doubting this game, to help maybe make you feel a little better, it has been accepted in Steam's Greenlight program. What that is they take indie games that they think are going to do well, and they work to actually get them in the Steam store. So that's kind of cool that this game is got that kind of pedigree to it already. So give it a shot. There's a lot of people playing, and it's relaxing, which is amazing for games nowadays, because it seems like they're just the opposite, and they're quite frustrating. So as you can see here, I dropped some bombs, and I actually took our score to 14-12 us, and that's why we were gonna win anyway. The mission time was running out. I have a fuel leak again, but I'm doing all I can to drop as many bombs as I can because I want to get the win, and I just put us up by 3, and then we ended up taking out all of their aircraft, so it was game over. Now, I didn't finish on top of the leaderboard as far as score goes, but I did have the most ground kills, which to me is more important than overall score, considering we were playing ground strike. Alright guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I know like the die-hard fans of mine are going to actually watch this whole video and enjoy it. The rest of you, hey, War Thunder's not your thing and I get it. But if you did make it this far, drop in the comments below, War Thunder for the win. Alright, let's try to get people on board with this thing. So War Thunder for the win if you've been this far in the comments. Alright guys, thank you so much for stopping by. 2 videos on the screen you might have missed. Click them, bam, opening a new window. This shit is like magic, son. Big yellow subscribe button. Guess what? If you click that shit, you're going to stick around. How? If you're already here, don't click it, because it'll probably unsub you to me, and you don't want to do that, because this is the best entertainment value you're ever going to find on YouTube. So you know damn well you want to stay around. And as always, follow me on Twitter to find out what I'm working on, what I'm doing, what I'm playing, who I'm playing, how I'm playing. And if you just want to say hi, hey, fuck it, tweet me. I do it all the time. I talk to people all the time on Twitter, so make sure you follow me over there. Alright guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Your time and your views are greatly appreciated. It means a lot to me that you shared the last 12.5 minutes of your life with me, and it's just effing fantastic, and I couldn't be more grateful. So go get War Thunder. Let's team up, and remember, drop bombs on a mother. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't fucking listen to me.